All right, good morning viewers and welcome again to another interesting program, your program, the Newspaper Review on iDEA TV. I am Gabriel Matthew Seriki, and today we'll be taking a look at what is trending in the world of politics, entertainment and sport, not forgetting health. Today is the 3rd of February 2026. All right, a quick dive in to see what the new bulletin. Okay, let's quickly look at what the iDEA SMEs. We brought to you that iDEA Persons of Interest, the iDEA SMEs, is already out on all social media platforms and it's out on iDEA TV. I mean, this is where we spotlight on ideas, breakthroughs and systems shaping and inspiring knowledge-based developments in Africa through innovations and entrepreneurship. I mean, the iDEA SMEs of Interest is already out, and I mean, this is where you get most of what is happening. People that are shaping the African globally in their various endeavors. I mean, we spotlight on Dangote Food, Editor, and Promasido, Boa, and also Tiger Brand. Or I quickly get a copy of that to see the iDEA SMEs that is already out on the iDEA TV. All right, let's quickly move on to what the paper we have for you today on all the newspaper trending headlines. I mean, we have the New Telegraph, the Daily Trust, the Punch, and the Tribune. I mean, we also have the Vanguard and the Guardian, Blueprint, and lastly we have the Nation. All right, let's quickly look at the New Telegraph to see the trending stories on the New Telegraph this morning. All right, we can see on the trending story of the New Telegraph, it says 2027, Why I Won't Quit PDP by Governor Lawal. If I realize there is no more PDP, which means there is no more platform for me to contest, I will run as independent candidate if there is provision for that. I mean, this is coming by Governor Lawal. I mean, so much in love with PDP. I mean, he says if there's no more PDP, that he won't quit PDP. I mean, he's dedicated to PDP, and if there's any platform apart from any other party, he can contest as individually. All right, quickly grab a paper on that to see his own explanation on being running as an independent political party system for his own. All right, on page 2, we can see the picture of Uzodimma, I mean, receiving an award from the New Telegraph. It says, Uzodimma New Telegraph Award will spur me to do more. All right, New Telegraph Award will spur me to do more. Then on page 2 and page 29, still on the New Telegraph, it said, bandits uproot hectares of cassava, feed cows in fresh Benue attack. I mean, this is also a sad one. It's a bandit or put hectares of cassava, feed cows in fresh Benue attack. All right, quickly moving to page 5, still on the New Telegraph. It's a court restrain NLC, TUC, 3 others from embarking on strike protest. Court restrain NLC, TUC, 3 others from embarking on strike protest. All right, quickly grab a paper on that to see what the NLC and TUC and others embarking on strike are. All right, then on page 6, still on the New Telegraph, it's a PDP fixed March 28 and 29 for National Convention. Sues for unity among members. PDP fixed March 28, 29 for National Convention. Sue unity among members. All right, that is coming on the case of PDP. I mean, setting up 28 and 29 for National Convention. All right, quickly grab a paper on that to see the details that are in there. Then on page 4, on the New Telegraph, the down page, it says Tinubu direct budget office to liberalize electricity subsidies. Tinubu direct budget office to liberalize electricity subsidies. Then still on the down page, we have BOF wants MDA to prioritize programs in 2026 budget. BOF wants MDAs to prioritize programs in 2026 budget. Then still on there, we have FG earns 20.7 trillion naira revenue in 2025 budget. FG earns 20.7 trillion naira revenue in 2025 budget. Then still close to it there, on page 3 and page 6, still on the New Telegraph, it says, Obi, I will be running for president in 2027. I mean, coming in from Obi there, declaring his internship for the 2027 election. Says Tinubu government lack of transparency, not accidental. It says Tinubu's government lack of transparency, not accidental. All right, quickly grab the paper on that to see his own explanation on the 2027 election that is forthcoming. I mean, there have been so much tussle on the 2027 coming election. I mean, so many tussles on the air, and many political parties, ADC, PDP, and other parties are trying to come in. I mean, to put their own contest. I mean, to contest for the 2027 election. So let's see how it's going to go. All right. Then on page 28, pardon, sleeping without pillows may lower pressure, says by study. That is coming in on health news there. It says sleeping without pillows may lower eyes pressure, says by study. All right. So let's quickly move up to the up page of the New Telegraph and see the trending story there. It says FAAC, federal government, state, local government share 1.96 trillion naira in December. FAAC, federal government, states, local government share 1.96 trillion naira in December. Then VAT increased by 350 billion naira. VAT increased by 350 million naira. I mean, these are most of the trending story and in the New Telegraph, and we can see that on the front page where we have 2027, why I won't quit PDP, says by Lawal. It says, if I realize there is no more PDP, which means there is no more platform for me to contest, I will be running as independent candidate if there's provision for that. All right, let's quickly move to the next paper we have this morning and see the trending story on the Daily Trust. Let's see what the Daily Trust is leading with. Then on the front page of the Daily Trust, it says billions lost at Kano Commodity Hub. Billions lost at Kano Commodity Hub. That is coming on the front page of the Daily Trust. Then the up page, page 14 on the Daily Trust this morning, it says X-Rain, Murtala 7 states at 50. X-Rain, Murtala 7 states at 50. Then still on the front page, we have FCT, Labour insists on protest despite court order. FCT, Labour insists on protest after court, despite court order. All right, that is coming on the protest by the Labour Party, the Labour Union. I mean, they're still on after court order. I mean, they're still on protest. All right, quickly still on the front page there. It says South Africa restore power at Nigerian High Commission after debt payment. South Africa restored power at Nigerian High Commission after debt payment. All right, that is coming on the front page of the Daily Trust. Pardon. Then let's quickly move on there. On the front page, we can see buildings that have been caught on fire. So let's quickly know what is going on there. Then it says goods worth of billions of naira burnt at fire God single Kano State yesterday. I think market in Kano yesterday. I mean, fire caught goods worth of millions of naira in Atakon in Kano State yesterday. I mean, that is a market where fire caught so many things were burnt yesterday. I mean, we have not known what really caused the intents of the fire in Kano State market yesterday. I mean, goods worth of billion. I mean, these are people's hard-earned money and businesses. So we are yet to ascertain the cause of the fire. So quickly grab the paper on that to digest and to read more to see the cause of the fire there. Then we also have, I got 950 million naira as gift, 374 million naira salary. Malami tells court. Malami coming out to tell court that I got 950 million naira as gift, then 334 million salary by Murtala tells court. All right, quickly grab the paper on that to see what he's explaining on the 958 million naira as gift and 374 million naira as salary. All right. Then on page 40, it says Nigeria killed fighting for Russia in Ukraine. Nigerians killed fighting for Russia in Ukraine. I mean, this is coming on the world news. I mean, how Nigeria is killed fighting for Russia in Ukraine. All right. Then still close to it, we have man allegedly killed father father's stepmother in Plateau. Man allegedly kills father's stepmother in Plateau. That is a sad one. Then we also have Boko Haram kills 17 in Borno. Boko Haram killed 17 in Borno. That is still coming as a case of insurgency still triggering in the country that has really set the country backward in some times now. So we pray that the military and the government will keep doing their best. I mean, we have been hearing good news from the military side and also the government, how they are partnering to make sure they eradicate these guys. So we give them kudos. We also pray that as they put their life on the line for us, they will also they will do the needful, and God will continue to be with them. I think that's a prayer I can say for them. All right, let's quickly go to the next paper this morning on Punch. Let's see what the Punch is saying this morning. We can see on the front page of the Punch this morning, it says government faces fire over 9 trillion FAAC windfall. Government faces fire over 9 trillion FAAC windfall. It says big money, small impact. That is coming on the front page. Big money, small impact. Government face fire over 9 trillion FAAC windfall. Then on that, we also have federal allocation leaves 37% post-subsidy. Spotlight on state spending. NLC economic opposition party reacts. Federal allocation leaves 37% post-subsidy. Spotlight on state spending. NLC economic opposition parties react. That is coming in on the front page, still on the Punch this morning. Then on page 41, still on the Punch, it says refinery battle crude shortage as Nigerian export 206 million barrels. Refiners battle crude shortage as Nigerian export 206 million barrels. All right, coming on the page 41, still on the Punch this morning. Then on page 7 on the Punch, it says court remand 9 overkilling of 150 in Benue. Court remand 9 overkilling of 150 in Benue. All right, that is still coming in on Benue News. I mean, this is the second time we are taking the news of Benue. The first one was on the other paper where we had bandits operating cassava to feed cows. I mean, there has been so much news of destabilization in that Benue state. We just pray that the government will do the needful over there to make sure things are bring back to normalcy. All right, let's quickly move to page 24, still on the Punch. The down page, it says, no other country sees daily killing like Nigeria, says by Kuka. I mean, still coming on the case of killing and insurgency. It says, no other country sees daily killing like Nigeria, coming from Kuka. Then on page 5, we also have father seek justice over son's mysterious death inside Lagos hotel. Father seeks justice over son's mysterious death inside Lagos hotel. I mean, this is such a sad one coming in from a boy that lost his life in the hotel and yet to assassin the major cause of the killing, and the father is seeking justice. All right, on page 46, still on the Punch this morning, ministry blames budget delay as South African courts embassy power supply. Ministry blamed budget delay as South Africa courts embassy power supply. I mean, coming on page 46, still on the Punch this morning. All right, and let's quickly move up to see another trendy story still coming in from the Punch, the 3rd of February 2026. Then on page 48, on the front page, it says Electoral Act. Senate resume debate today after backlash. Electoral Act. Senate resume debate today after backlash. We can see the picture of Akpabio there. The Senate resuming debate today after so many backlash within during the weekend. All right, quickly grab a copy on that to see what the backlash is all about and how Electoral Act have to resume debates today. Then on page 9, still on the Punch, the all page coming in from it says federal government moves to share electricity subsidy cost with states. Federal government move to share electricity subsidy cost with states, coming in from ALGERIA, still on the Punch this morning. Then on page 46, we have PDP crisis, WIZKID block plans, convention after court victory. PDP crisis, WIZKID block plans, convention after court victory. All right, still coming in on the front page of the Punch this morning. Then on page 48, we are saying, okay, we see the picture of Yelwata there coming, and it says APC unveiled 73 members National Convention Committee. APC unveils 73 members National Convention Committee. All right, and we can see on major, what is trending on the major front page of the Punch is it says big money, small money, government faces fire over 9 trillion FAAC windfall. I mean, that is coming as a case of dilapidation of the windfall, as the way the federal government has to face fire over 9 trillion FAAC. All right, quickly grab a paper on the Punch this morning to see most of the trending stories there that are leading the headlines. So let's quickly move to the Tribune to see what the Tribune has for us this morning before we quickly go on a short break. All right, on the front page of the Tribune, it says, "How I acquire my property," says Malami. "How I acquired my properties," says Malami. Asks court to set aside interim for future order. How I acquire my properties, coming in from Malami. Asks court to set aside interim for future orders, coming in on the front page of the Tribune this morning on page 8. Then on page 7, still on the Tribune, it says, FinTech processed 11 billion transaction in 2024 as startup raised $520 million in equity, CBN. FinTech processed 11 billion transaction in 2024 as startup raises $520 million in equity, says by CBN, coming in on page 7, still on the Tribune this morning. Then quickly on health, let's see what health has for us this morning on page 43. It says common food preservation in hot dog, sausage, bacon increase prostate cancer risk by 32%, says by researcher. On health, still coming in again, let me take it again. It says common food preservatives in hot dogs, sausage, bacon increase prostate cancer risk by 32%, says by researchers. I mean, we can see the cause of preservation of sausage, hot dog food. I mean, the high risk of it. I mean, this is coming on a health issue. I mean, quickly grab a copy on that to see what the major cause will actually be if we consume most of the sausage food that is too much preserved. All right. Then on the up page of the Tribune this morning, on page 8, it says Yelwada massacre. Federal government arraigned suspected terrorist in 57 count charge. Yelwada massacre. Federal government arraigned suspected terrorist in 57 count charge. Still coming on the case of terrorists over on case of insurgency and terrorism still taking place in Nigeria, and we are saying here that Yelwada massacre. Federal government arraigned suspected terrorists on 57 court charge. I mean, such a huge one there. So quickly grab a paper on that to see the major roots and why they have 57 court count charge on the terrorists. Then on page 46, still on the Tribune, before we quickly go on a quick break this morning, on page 46, we brought to you that 19.65 billion naira was budgeted for health sector in 2026, not 68 million naira, says by Ekiti government. 19.65 million naira was budgeted for health sector in 2026, not 68 million naira, says by Ekiti state government. And we can see on the front page of the Tribune where we have how I acquire my property, still coming in from Malami. Asks courts to set aside interim for future orders. All right, let's quickly go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue from what other papers are leading with on the headline. Stay tuned. Please don't go anywhere.
Number 1, synthetic biology advances. Synthetic biology is pushing science into new territory. Using AI-guided gene editing, researchers are engineering organisms to produce biofuels, biodegradable plastics, and even synthetic meat. In 2023, Ginkgo Bioworks announced partnerships to design microbes that can manufacture sustainable chemicals at scale. Moderna and BioNTech are expanding mRNA technology beyond COVID vaccines to treat cancer and rare genetic diseases. The global synthetic biology market is expected to surpass $30 billion by 2030. By 2026, the line between biology and technology will blur even further, making synthetic biology one of the most transformative fields of the decade. So there you have it, 15 more technologies that, alongside the first 17 we covered, are set to define 2026. Together, they show how quickly innovation is moving beyond our screens and into every corner of our life, from the materials we use to the way we connect and even how we think. And if you missed part 1, make sure to check it out next. If you made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now.
All right, glad to have you back. If you're still with us, this is iDEA Television. And today we're taking a still look at the newspaper review this beautiful morning, being the 3rd of February 2026. And all right, let's quickly move to what the Vanguard has for us this morning. On the front page of the Vanguard this morning, on page 5, coming on page 5, it says state government now to share payment of electricity subsidy coming in for federal government. State government now to share payment of electricity subsidy by federal government. Then under it, we also have, we will be previewing situation NGF, SERC, pardon. We'll be reviewing our situation, says by NGF and SERC. All right, then funding to come from PCAF. Says by sources. Then we also have state should pay subsidy as active partners coming in from CPPE. Then we also have big fiscal politicians shoot. Big fiscal political shoot profile Ila Dare, still coming from Ila Dare. Then still on the front page, let's quickly move to page 11. Still on the front page of the Vanguard this morning, it says Onitsha market lockdown. Onitsha market lockdown. 10,000 shops marks for demolition. 10,000 shops marks for demolition. Then we also have under it, we have open market, but nobody's coming to buy from us, says by trader. I mean, this is still coming in on the case of the Onitsha market that has been locked down, and 10,000 shops marked for demolition. And we also see that here that the traders are complaining that the markets are open, but people are not coming in to buy goods from them. Then another side here where we have market leaders, hails traders. Market leaders, hails traders. All right. Still on the front page of the Vanguard. On page 4, still on the Vanguard, 2027, APC move to exploit opposition's disunity. 2027, APC moves to exploit opposition's disunity. Coming in on the page 4 of still on the Vanguard. Then on page 9, it says prosecution to London. London court. The Zenith spent £140,000 on furniture's orders. The Zenith spent £140,000 on furnitures and orders. I mean, still coming on the case of the Zenith trial court in London. We can see the expense of the money being spent on the Zenith furnitures. All right, quickly grab a paper on there to see the details entails there. Then on page 7, still on the Vanguard this morning, it says outrage as Nigerian music superstar face disappointment again at 68th Grammy Award. Outrage as Nigerian music superstar faces disappointment again at 68th Grammy Award. I mean, coming in on the Grammy Award that Davido was to win, and we are hearing rumors that he did not win the Grammy Award again. All right, it was not given to him. I mean, this is 68th Grammy Award award that was not given to him. All right, quickly grab the paper on that to see why the Grammy Award was not given to Davido this time around again. All right, quickly moving to the on the page, on page 8, still on the Vanguard this morning, where we have Makoko protest. Police use expired tear gas on protesters, says by Falana. Makoko protest. Police uses expired tear gas to protest on protestants, says by Falana. Then on page 6, we also have Malami challenge EFCC, asks court to set aside interim for future orders on property. Malami challenge EFCC, asks court to set aside interim for future orders on property. All right, these are most of the trending story on the Vanguard this morning. So let's quickly move to the next paper and see what is trending in the world of the Guardian. All right, let's see what the Guardian has for us. On the front page, we see on page 6 of the Guardian, it says party politics by court order haunts internal democracy opposition. Party politics by court orders haunts internal democratic opposition. Then we also have on page 9, still on the Guardian, it says courts remand suspect of Benue killing in Kuje prison. Court remand suspect of Benue killing in Kuje prison. Still coming on the front page of the Guardian this morning. Then on page 3, still on the Guardian, where we have NBA advocates time frame for resolving legal disputes. NBA advocates time frame for resolving legal disputes. Then we also have on page 2, still on the Guardian, it says Kuka, Nigeria must unite to end killing of Christians and Muslims. Coming in from Kuka, it says Nigerian must unite to end killing of Christians and Muslims. Then still on the front page, on page 9, we also have PH, worry refineries, workers protest on paid salary. Port Harcourt, worry refineries, workers protest on paid salary. Then on page 8, still on the Guardian, Soludo visit Onisha market as residents observe sit at home. Soludo visit Onisha market as residents observe sit at home. Then on page 6, still on the Guardian, 2027, Saraki reject APC coverture to Fintiri as a ruling party intensify recruitment. 2027, Saraki rejects APC overture to Fintiri as ruling party intensify recruitment. Then on page 7, we also have Nigeria paying heavy price for underfunding education sector, says by Osibanjo. Nigeria paying heavy price for underfunding education sector, says by Osibanjo. All right. We can see on the front page still on the guide there where we have Electoral Act 2022. You can see the picture of most of. All right. Then on page 3, still on the Guardian, the up page, it says you can see the picture of Obi there. He says, "I will be running for president in 2027." Obi confirms. "I will be running for president in 2027." Obi confirms. Then on page 9, still on the Guardian, court restrain NLC, TUC orders from strike protest. Court restrain NLC, TUC orders from strike and protest. All right, coming from court restricting the NLC and the TUC and the orders from strike protest. I mean, the protests, the strikes still continue, and the court are trying to restrict the protest. All right, quickly grab the paper on that to see what they have to say on that page. Then on page 3, still on the Guardian, President directs MDAs to disclose electricity subsidy, pays bill. President directs MBDA to disclose electricity subsidy and their pay bills. Coming in on the front page, still on the Guardian this morning. All right. Then let's quickly move. Let's quickly move to the next paper we have for you, the blueprint. Let's see what the blueprint is trending and leading with today this morning. On the front page of the blueprint, it says how I acquired 212.8 billion naira seized asset with 15 million legitimate earning. Coming in from Malami there, how I acquired 212.8 billion naira seized asset with 15 billion legitimate earning, says by Malami. Then less stream of income, escalate profit from businesses, orders. List of stream of incomes, escalate profit from businesses and the others. Then we also have urge courts to quash interim forfeiture of 57 property. Urge courts to quash interim forfeiture of 57 property. Then on the up page of the blueprint, on page 14, we have Kwara reopen school as security forces go after bandits. Kwara reopen schools as security forces go after bandits. Then, all right. Then on page 20, the business page on the blueprint, it says CBN unveil fintech report, list innovation gain, regulatory gaps. CBN unveil fintech reopen report, list innovation gain, regulatory gap. Then on page 32 of the blueprint, sports, basketball, aggrieved stakeholders, petition FEB over tenure elongation. Sports, basketball, aggrieved stakeholders, petition FEB over tenure elongation. Coming in on the sports aspect there. All right. Then on the front page of the blueprint, on page 10, it says Kogi bandit free hostage after collecting motorcycles as ransom. Bandit free hostage after collecting motorcycle as ransom. The case of negotiation and the case of negotiating with bandits, I believe it's not the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do. So, I've been for them collecting a motorcycle as ransom. It's such a bad one, and it's not a good one at all. They should put an end to this negotiation and collecting ransom, because they have actually taken this thing as business in Nigeria. It has eaten so deep, and we can see that every day we have been hearing news of bandits collecting ransom from people, different forms and different cases. This shouldn't be. I don't support the case of negotiating with bandits or giving them ransom to continue perpetrating their evil. Take a quick look at that to see what the paper is saying on that aspect. Then still on the front page, the down page of the blueprint, on page 6, NAPTIP rescue 21 in Onitsha hotel raid, 4 HIV positive. NAPTIP rescue 21 in Onitsha hotel raid, 4 HIV positive. All right. Then on page 13, we have federal government arraign 9 Benue massacre suspect for terrorism. Federal government arraign 9 Benue massacre suspect for terrorism. Then we also have on page 20, FAAC, federal government, state, local government share 1.969 trillion naira in December 2025. FAAC, federal government, state, local government share 1.969 trillion naira in December 2025. All right. Then the last page still on the blueprint. Coming in on page 20, oil marketers lament petrol price hike, warns of sustained cost pressure. Oil marketer lament petrol price hike, warn of sustained cost pressure. All right. Let's quickly move to the last paper we have for you today before we call it a wrap on IDEA TV. And on The Nation this morning, the trending leading story on The Nation, on the front page of The Nation, it says federal government, electricity subsidy payment. Federal government to share cost with state, council. Electricity subsidy payment. Federal government to share cost with state and the council, coming on page 4 of The Nation this morning. Then quickly, the down page, we saw that history impact as Governor Buni inaugurate world-class scientific research training center in Yobe. This has been a training story over the week and the weekend, and still it's coming in today as we can see that Governor Buni has inaugurated world-class scientific research training center in Yobe. This is such a nice one, and we can see the pictures of the inaugurated inaugurated research center, scientific center. I mean, this is such a nice one. All right. We endeavor you guys to quickly go on the papers this morning on The Nation to see what is entailed there. Then on page 5, still on The Nation this morning, the all page, WIZKID camp, fixed PDP convention for March 28. Turaki, we will wait for court, says by Turaki. It says WIZKID camp, fixed PDP convention for March 2028. Then Turaki, we will wait for court. All right. Then on page 5, we have Uzodinma, Buni, Akande, 70 orders in APC convention panel. Uzodinma, Buni, Akande, 70 orders in APC conventional panel. Then on the last paper we have for you on The Nation, we have on page 4, it says Malami list income sources to prevent asset forfeiture. Malami list income sources to prevent assets forfeiture. Then on page 6, still on The Nation, Dezeni bought 140,000 pound furniture in one day. Dezeni bought 140,000 pounds furniture in one day. Still coming on the Nations this morning about Dezeni acquiring furniture for 140,000 pounds. I mean, quickly grab a copy on that to see the full details story on The Nation. So let's quickly do a quick recap on all the papers that we brought across your way today before we call it a wrap on IDEA TV. We brought to you that on the New Telegraph this morning, leading the story, the front page of the New Telegraph, we brought to you that why 2027, why I won't quit PDP, says by Governor Lawal. Why I won't quit PDP, says by Governor Lawal. Then he also goes on to say, if I realize there is no more PDP, which means there is no more platform to contest, I will run as independent candidate if there's a provision for that. All right. Then quickly going to the next paper, we were brought to you by the Daily Trust. Billion lost at Kano Community Hub. Billion lost at Kano Commodity Hub. I mean, we can see the pictures of the Kano mass fire outgush that claim a lot of businesses, properties there, and so many things were lost on the market there. We can see that almost 958 million, almost millions of naira. I mean, that cost the fire outbreak. I mean, we can see the cost there on the outbreak of fire. I mean, it's such a huge one there. All right, quickly grab a paper on that to see what really caused the fire outbreak and the millions that were lost in the markets there. Then on the Punch, we brought to you that government faces fire over 9 trillion FAAC windfall. That is coming on the front page of the Punch. Then on Tribune, we brought to you that how I acquired my properties, says by Malami, leading the front page of the Tribune. It says how I acquired my property, coming in from Malami. Ask court to set aside interim for future orders. Ask court to set aside for interim for future orders. Then we also have on the Vanguard, leading story on the Vanguard, we brought across your way. State government now to share payment of electricity subsidy, says by federal government. State government now to share payment of electricity subsidies, says by federal government. Then we also brought to you that the Vanguard, party politics by court orders haunts internal democracy opposition. Party politics by court orders haunts internal democratic opposition. Then on the blueprint, before the last paper, we brought to you the trendy story on the blueprint this morning was on the blueprint. We brought to you that how I acquire 212.8 billion naira seized assets with 15 million legitimate earnings, says by Malami. Still coming on the front page of Malami, says how he acquired 2.8 billion seized assets with 15 million legitimate earning. Then quickly, the last paper we brought across the way on The Nation this morning, leading story on The Nation, it says electricity subsidy payment, federal government share cost with state council. Then we also saw that history impacts as Governor Buni inaugurate World Scientific Research Training Center in Yobe. I mean, these are most of the trendy stories that we brought across your way today, being the 3rd of February 2026. All right, do well to make sure you grab the papers to see more of what they have to say on each of the papers. So quickly stay tuned as we bring to you more interesting program on iDEA TV. I still remain Gabriel Matthew Seriki. Thank you for your time.